Here, we do the sync thing.
Yay.
All right. So, welcome
Hi.
to the Animal Education Podcast. Today's
Yeah.
episode is all about things that fly
Yeah.
and things that glide.
Yeah, so airborne organisms.
No.
What?
That sounds like a disease.
You're a disease.
Turn that microphone a little bit so it's pointing right at you. There you go. Okay. All right. So to start off, define for us the difference between flying and gliding.
All right, so flying or powered flight is when an organism or even a vehicle flies under its own power. Like it takes off and it lands and it can maintain itself in the air for a period of time on its own accord by like power, whether that be flapping or an engine or whatever. A gliding is just that you have some way to catch the wind and you can essentially fall how you want to fall. Like you can maneuver the air currents and yourself along them and just you have lift to make you fall slower almost.
So you could catch an updraft.
Yeah.
But you're dependent on an updraft to bring you higher. You
Yes.
can't actively
Or from where
push
you
yourself
jump specifically.
Yeah.
So like a flying suit, you're gliding.
Okay.
A parachute is kind of
Is
gliding.
gliding.
Yeah.
Right. So when a parachute, so you can either, the most you can do when gliding is kind of, if it's a flying suit, pull your arms in to force that lift a little bit, or pull down on your ropes on a parachute, which might give you a temporary little boost, but you're not
Or
really,
like if there's
you're
a
not,
wind, you can like try to open up more to catch it or something.
where with a plane or where something that's flying, actively flying, a bird or a plane, they
Yeah.
can themselves, without depending really
Yeah.
on the air currents, force themselves
Sorry,
higher,
allergies are
slower,
bad.
faster, all that. Okay.
We don't like allergies.
We don't like allergies. Allergies are banned. So we're gonna start with flying or gliding,
I mean, is there like a
or are we
particular
gonna
one?
do like comparisons?
Maybe more
More
comparisons,
comparisons. Okay. Modern animals.
yeah, let's do some
Okay.
modern animals. Okay, we
Okay.
can solve some modern animals. So for flying, first I have everyone's favorite, the American robin.
Nice.
Here I have a little puppet, little robin guy. So this is an American robin. I mean, it's a little plush, so it's not like the dimensions are exact or anything.
Yeah, a little proportionally.
But yeah.
But actually, he's pretty. I mean, he's
small.
pretty proportionate.
But here's the funny part. This isn't a robin. Yes, it's an American robin, but American robins are not actually robins. So basically what happened was in
They're Batman.
no. Okay. So in Europe there is a species that's actually like this size called the European robin that has a orange breast.
Okay.
And so it's a small bird, more like something like a chickadee or a tit or something along those lines.
Okay.
And so when the explorers came over here and they saw the American robin, which is pretty big, like actual robins, I mean, they're like this tall from
Okay.
standing here.
Okay.
They're like
Okay.
like they're taller,
Okay.
like I don't know, like this tall or something.
Okay.
It's like, but they saw the red breast and they're like, oh, so it's a robin. So they called it the American robin. However, they're actually thrushes, not robins. So even though they kind of like the European robin, they're not.
Okay.
They're more closely related to creatures like, let's see, they're more closely related to something like a flycatcher of some kind, or like other thrushes,
Thrushes.
flycatchers.
So robin is
larger
more
species.
Robin is a colloquial.
No, I believe there are actual robins. The problem is
No.
that
I mean our
our
robins.
robins just
colloquially
it's
call
just
them
yeah.
robins. Okay.
So, but they do powered flight. It's that they have wings and they
Okay.
flap them with the flight feathers are the ones. We'll talk about this guy more specifically later, but just to bring him out, just to explain, like, so this guy has like these longer flight feathers on the wings. They're the
Okay.
ones that fly,
Okay.
but they're like around the body, like maybe here
Right.
or stuff, that's more just like other feathers, whether that's for insulation or for display, something like that. So,
Okay.
well, actually, we can keep this out. So this is the American robin.
Okay.
This flies. Okay.
Okay.
This also does fly. The California condor, which
that one's named Brian.
okay. Yeah, Robin's named Brian. Okay. Don't ask. It's a very convoluted
It's a
thing.
long story.
Yeah. But so this is a California condor. This is one of the largest flying species of bird.
Yeah, isn't his wingspan like 10 feet or something?
Yeah,
Or
California
some
condors
astronomical amount of
It's
distance.
not Andean condor, so it's not like the largest, but it's up there. Condor. California condor. I just did a Facebook post on this recently. They can get 9.8 foot wingspan.
Ooh, I was pretty close.
Largest of any American bird.
Okay.
And so condors are they're an offshoot of vultures, but they tend to be bigger. And so, well, they do fly. They also do something called soaring, which like they keep their wings. They go really high and they keep their wings out like this toy is.
Yeah.
And they just kind of catch the air current. So they're essentially gliding.
Okay.
But the thing is that they can fly.
Right.
Like they are physically capable of flying.
But the gliding conserves energy.
Yes.
Because they're just basically.
So they can go across large distances looking for dead animals, which is how they eat. Because they're scavengers.
So I would assume that means, like, for us to keep our arms up, we would get exhausted because we're using muscles to do that. I'm guessing that's a relaxed position.
I don't know.
Or maybe because of the wind currents, it's kind of...
Yeah, it's like lifting.
Okay.
So,
all right. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
So we can see here two of the ways birds fly, but there's another famous one. And that is the most advanced. And that is where we have the hummingbird. Now, this is the Audubon calling hummingbird.
Okay.
Oh, this is almost dead. Anyway, this is the Audubon call hummingbird. So this is a ruby-throated hummingbird. The only hummingbird to come across the Mississippi to the east side.
Okay.
Most hummingbirds are Central America, South America. There's some out west.
Okay.
But the only one on this side of the Mississippi is the ruby-throated hummingbird.
Okay.
Which that's a male. Obviously, it's a plush, so it's really
and I would assume then the ones out west are kind of in the southern half of the states.
No, there's could be some a little more north. Not like super north.
Okay.
But like,
I'm assuming climate-wise.
Yeah, more like
California, Arizona, not Washington State.
Well, let's see. I have a book of hummingbirds, just specifically hummingbirds, because remember, kids, books are better.
That's right. Books are better than internet.
I still use the internet, but like, books are the best. Okay, let's see if I can. I mean, some of them live up in like the mountains in Ecuador. Like I saw some up in the Andes, so like they can live in colder. I mean, some live around here. Obviously, it's not always super warm around.
Yeah.
You know, like, they might migrate.
I was going to say, do they migrate? They're kind of tiny.
Yeah, but still, like I'm saying, like they can be.
Yeah.
Because this is not organized by like location or anything. This is, I think it's scientific name is how they're organized.
Native to the Americas, 366 species
of hummingbird. Yeah, and we'll get to why I chose specifically hummingbirds in a second. You could ask him, but he wouldn't know.
Well, because they can hover and fly backwards.
Well, yeah, that is part of it.
Though they're like the helicopters of the bird world.
Mm-hmm. They fly, they beat their wings really fast. I have another book here. I'll look up some statistics in a bit, but I'm sorry, I can't find a good North American hummingbird for the life of me.
Oh, well, I can look one and put it in the video.
Something like a rufous hummingbird or something, maybe.
Hummingbird.
Because most of them are in South and Central America, so that's why I'm having difficulty finding one that's more North American leaning.
Ruby-throated hummingbird.
That's the one we were just talking about.
Father. Okay, so there's a picture on Wikipedia I can share. Oh, a really good picture on Wikipedia.
Yeah, if I'm ever talking. Oh yeah, no, here we go. Anna's hummingbird. They're almost up. Like they're up through Canada. Like they're almost up to Alaska.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
If you can see it, but like yeah,
you can if you show it in the camera there.
Yeah, so they can be more climate. I mean, it looks like they migrate south more into like California.
I would say maybe because they have to eat nectar of flowers.
Yes.
They don't eat insects or worms or.
Okay, I believe certain hummingbirds may catch certain insects if they get the chance, but in general.
In general.
Oh yeah, here the black-chinned hummingbird also is more like Arizona, but even up into like Idaho, Oregon, stuff like that. So
Well, yeah, here I don't
they
know if they
can
can.
go
I don't know if
pretty
they can see this.
north. And like our ruby
Here,
throated
is
is
this
even up into
look
Canada.
appropriate?
That's the ruby throated, yeah.
That's ruby throat.
They go up
Okay.
to like Canada, but like other ones, like the black chin, can go up into like
Really, it's like the Mississippi and east,
yes, they're
and a little bit up
special.
into Canada, and then of course
But
down
most
into
other
the central and
species are
south.
west of them. All other
All the
species
species
are
are
west of the
Okay.
Mississippi or on the
So the
central
ruby
and
throated
south.
is the odd man
Yeah,
out.
they're the
Okay.
odd man out.
Okay. All right. Cool.
But I'm assuming this Super Nature Encyclopedia from Smithsonian will probably have a page on hummingbirds if I had to guess. That seems like an appropriate creature to have. Yeah. 106. See? I bet these kids don't even know what an index is. Alright. Oh, that's just for the tiniest creatures, the hummingbird. The bee hummingbird is 2 inches long.
From beak tip to tail tip,
Well, may not tail,
or
because tail's gonna
body.
be long.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
the
the body. Okay.
Okay, really? They don't have hummingbird? That's
So
the
like head
craziest.
to hiney.
Yeah, but they're really small. And it's something like the average hummingbird, like they have to eat like 300 hamburgers worth of food if they were our size.
Yeah, the calories.
Yeah. No, like if a hummingbird
The
was our
equivalent
size,
of
yes,
right.
for them 300 hamburgers. Like they have to eat a lot. And they literally have to eat like every like 12 minutes or something or they'll die. So they're constantly on the move.
So I saw something about if you saw a hummingbird,
or
maybe it was a bee. No, sorry, it was a bee. Bees fly.
Yeah.
I know bees fly. But anyway, if you saw a bee sitting on the ground, that's a bad sign. And you should give it honey or something.
Yeah, that it's probably they really wouldn't be on the ground, so that probably is a bad sign. But also, that's another thing. I probably should have brought a figure of a bee. It didn't even cross my mind. Because there's always this saying that, like, according to the laws of aviation, a bee shouldn't be able to fly. Bumblebees should be able to fly, but they just do.
Yeah.
Which, that doesn't mean they're breaking the laws of aviation. It means the laws of aviation are wrong.
Right.
Because the bee is flying, so.
There is, well, and I will say, and I watch every video that comes out on this because I've asked this of aerospace engineers, an actual aerospace engineer that we know. Planes fly because their wings are shaped like this. Okay, but they can fly upside down.
Yeah.
So they say things can fly because of Bernoulli's law, but that's not totally accurate. It's a very simplified explanation of why things can fly.
Yeah.
So flight in and of itself is, we can make it happen, but the descriptions I've seen of the science why it works, most of us have never heard the actual explanation for why we can fly, which is kind of interesting.
Also,
now, birds, of course, can flap, so they have to have something different. Like when they go down, their wings need to effectively be solid.
Yeah.
When they come up, they either need to reposition their wings or the air needs to pass through their feathers so that they don't fly like this.
Yeah, because like the flight feathers are stiff to catch the wind, but they're also just feathers so they can flap down.
Yeah, so that some birds kind of tuck.
Yeah.
But some birds, as they're going up and down.
Speaking of, now we might as well go over the history of flight.
Okay.
So life has existed on Earth for about 2 billion years, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. But most of that time it was microscopic organisms. So guess when flight evolved? The first like animals, by the way, was like 500 million, 550 million years ago. So when did flight first evolve? At all?
Well, feathered flight?
No.
Or flight in general?
Just flight. Straight up just flight.
I'm going to say about half that, 250.
300 to 350 million years ago. Because that was first flying insects.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Now this isn't from that, but these were kind of the start of the flying insects, and they're still around today.
Okay.
The dragonfly.
Oh, the dragonfly.
This is I believe it's called an emerald hopper. No.
And they're more helicopter-y too.
Yeah. They have 4 wings, and they can... till this day, this is a really good predator.
Okay.
Like, these things are like the apex predators of the insect world. They fly around
Yeah.
and catch things. And back then, the Carboniferous, there's the Meganeura species, the size of a seagull. Nowadays, there's less oxygen, so they can't get as big, but they're still quite impressive. But yeah, so they fly, they can do this.
Do their wings, do they use the forewings like two wings, or can they do them differently?
They do them differently.
Okay.
Have you ever seen Dune? Because I know a lot of people watch Dune.
Yeah.
Those ornithopters, they're based off of a dragonfly.
Right.
That's a lot of things. A lot of things that fly are actually based off of animals today.
Yeah.
But yes, the ornithopter, if you know how they fly, that's how a dragonfly flies.
Okay. And we couldn't really build engines or wings that would do that.
We're working on it.
Right. But right now, the
no.
wings would have to be so massive and the engine so powerful and fast, we can't currently do that. But, so they can independently operate all four wings.
Yes, which
to
allows
maneuver
them,
and...
hovering, they're moving side, up and down, turn around, do a salsa. No.
Do a salsa.
Yeah.
Little soft shoe.
So wait, what species of dragon?
Yeah, these are really cool. Now, if you do any river kayaking, especially here on the DuPage River, the big ones like this, you'll see them mating on the pond scum, river scum.
Specific. This is a green donner. This is the one that most people think of when they see a dragonfly.
Yeah, and they are quite impressive close up.
You got a Pentax photo in the yearbook.
Yeah,
the Pentax yearbook.
Yeah, of two dragonflies. From the kayak. So they're quite impressive. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's a good representation. But then next up to fly would be the pterosaurs. Now these things are extinct.
Okay.
These are reptiles, and this would have been about 2 million years ago. They would have started to fly.
Okay.
And some of the first ones would, of course, have been Batinosaurus, your favorite.
Beady Batinosaurus.
Yeah, but here we have one of the later pterosaurs.
Well, here, show them what you're talking about.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Its name's really complicated.
So now these are like leathery wings, more like you would think of on like a bat or something.
Oh, wait, the name's down here. No, it's not.
Hank. Tom.
Oh, my God.
Beelzebub.
No. Oh, no, that's the wrong pterosaur type. That's the little gremlin version. We don't
need...
You see... I hope you all enjoy him. If you don't, comment down below, we'll move him. No, I'm joking.
Comment down below.
Get him fired. No.
Should Dad be ejected from the podcasts?
Why can't... Okay, I'm looking for this species of pterosaur right
Here, let me see him. So what's kind of interesting is, like... So, and these were ones like bats where their fingers...
Yes.
Right? So if you look, you'll have to show...
So you say like an insect is like, it's a whole separate
thing from their legs and
yeah,
hands or toes or whatever.
Yeah.
Where with him, if you look, it's actually one of his fingers.
Yeah, like he has like 3 fingers here, and then like this is also a finger.
And bats are like that.
Bats are like
too,
that
as
too.
well.
We can might as well do it right now. We have bats here. This is
so that's a complete
bat.
Difference in wing structure.
So yeah, bat, you can, it's a stuffed animal.
Yeah, but like, you can see the veins. Those are actually fingers.
Yeah, so like there's the mane, then here's a finger, and here's like here's a finger.
Go down so they can see. There you go.
There's a finger like here.
Yeah.
And then there's a finger up there, and then the top is a finger.
So is it typically the more leathery wings are that finger style?
Birds are kind of like that. Like all their fingers are somewhere up here.
Okay.
But the thing
is, they just don't extend out.
The rest are like their finger, like, or not finger, like the nubs. Like evolutionarily, the nubs of fingers can still be found in here, but now it's just feathers.
Okay.
There's one species of bird, the Hosatin, that has claws like right at like the crux of their wing.
Okay.
Kind of like pterosaurs did.
Yeah.
And like the Hosatin still has it.
Right.
So like it's there.
Kind of like we still have the remnants of a tailbone.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Evolutionarily, like, because like it did just pop out of nowhere. Like, it came from something.
Right.
So like old vertebrates, like a lizard has an arm.
Right.
And for us, it's still an arm.
Right.
For elephants, it's a foot. For pterosaurs, it's a wing. For bats, it's a wing. For penguins, it's a flipper wing.
Right.
For whales, it's a fin. Like.
Right.
So and like if you look at the bone, it's called homology. It's all the same.
Okay.
For like vertebrates, it's all the same because they evolved from a common ancestor and over time adapted to what they needed.
Okay. So that bone just kind of did what it needed to do for their
Yes. And
habitat
that's
or
why
environment
the
or whatever.
basis is the same across
Same.
vertebrates, especially like all mammals. It's
Proportionally, they may be different or
yeah,
whatever,
and the
but
shape
okay.
and the use and all
Right.
that, but like,
As a
and maybe certain bones might have like through sheer selection
right.
eventually
Right.
disappeared, but the general build is
Like
the
our
same.
tail,
Yeah.
effectively. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't. Oh, is that it? Nope, that's the other guy with a very similar name. Oh, okay. I think it's a relative of this. Yes, Anhangura. Um,
He just finished 2 years of Latin.
Anhangura. This is from Brazil. It's 98 to 93 million years ago in the late Cretaceous. So not the end of the dinosaurs, but pretty close.
And from those teeth, I'm going to suspect fish.
Yes.
Or his diet.
And this thing was, for proportions, this wasn't the largest pterosaurs. The largest pterosaurs had like 40-foot wingspans, like the Quetzalcoatlus.
Quetzalcoatlus. Yeah.
Or Hazegopteryx or something. But this was more like just under 5 meters.
Okay.
I don't know feet to meter. Oh, that's like 15 feet. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, so about 15 feet. So like a large pterosaur, but not huge.
Okay.
Yeah.
So would it make sense then that the bat is more closely related to that guy?
No. See, that's called convergent evolution.
Oh,
that is
okay.
when
they evolved at the same
they
time.
evolved the same thing
Okay.
separately.
Okay.
So both bats and pterosaurs have like the fingery, leathery wings.
Right.
But like the pterosaurs evolved their own way, went extinct with the dinosaurs.
Okay.
Later on, I think it's like 30 million years ago or something, the bats evolved the same thing.
Okay.
That's convergent.
Okay.
And that is they evolved the same thing.
But for different reasons at different times. And...
Well, they're both for flight in this
well,
case.
but yeah.
Yes, for different. Yes.
Yeah.
So, and yes, it took the same path because obviously it just through evolution the same paths would more likely be selected.
Right.
But
right.
they are different, so that's convergent evolution.
Okay.
Yeah. And then.
So really, we've got insect-style wings, bird-style wings.
Yeah.
And then
like pterosaur and bat.
Yeah, whatever you call those.
Like the leathery wings.
Creepy-style wings.
Okay. So, since you're talking about pterosaurs, we might as well talk about everyone's favorite classification of creatures. If I can spell, I'm so sorry, my spelling is horrific. There we go. Dinosaurs. Or, yes, so here we have the Archaeopteryx.
Oh, yeah, this is an interesting one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, there's a long time where everyone thought dinosaurs are dinosaurs.
Right.
It's not complicated. They're probably a reptile of some kind. Dinosaur means terrible lizard. It's just dinosaur. That's it. Not complicated. 2 years after Charles Darwin published The Origin of Species, they discovered the Archaeopteryx, which is a dinosaur. It has teeth in its mouth. It has a long tail. It has claws. It has, like, on its hands and legs. But wait, it was preserved in a Lagerstätten. What's a Lagerstätten?
It sounds German.
Yeah, it's German. It's a fossil place where fossils are very well preserved, like soft tissue, stuff like that. And in this case, feathers. So yeah, it was a dinosaur, but it had feathers on its wing. Actually, all over it, but it had like flight feathers on its wings and on its tail. And it kind of had a beak. It was still a dinosaur mouth, but it kind of had a beak.
So could it be a... Like, we always find... there was this, and then from that became this. Is it kind of the link between, we never really find the transitional point of things?
So that is what they thought back then.
Okay.
This was the link.
Okay.
Nowadays, it's more commonly accepted that this was kind of a dead end.
Okay.
And then... more like the Velociraptor, that lineage led to birds.
Okay.
But this is an important thing, which I know we've talked about before.
Okay.
There is no way to prove that anything specifically, there might be a few exceptions, but that any single species directly became another species.
Yeah, and we've talked about that before.
So the whole point is that, like, if you see an evolutionary line...
Right.
So think about, like, the March of Progress, the human one.
Right.
That's not really accurate. It wasn't like we went from a chimp to
And
Homo
then on some
erectus to
Tuesday,
Australopithecus to Homo
right,
erectus to
right,
human. It was like there was Australopithecus was existing,
right,
and at the same time, there's something very closely related to it
right,
that then evolved into Homo erectus,
right.
and then another relative of that. Like they're always their own individual branch off that tree,
Right,
but
right.
it can showcase what the ancestor would have most looked like.
So you don't have a grandfather that's a Patinosaurus.
No, but if you trace your lineage back,
Right,
at some
right, right,
point, like go through the switch, you can get to
right.
a
You can
Patinosaurus.
get to a Patinosaurus, yeah.
Or yeah, I mean, for that you'd have to go really far back,
Be
but
scooch it.
yeah.
There you go.
So Archaeopteryx, let me look through it because they're always debating if it can fly.
Now, and this is so it was so for something to become well preserved, basically it's
Yeah.
that it has to be in an environment that it gets covered very quickly
Mm-hmm.
by particular types of sediment
Yeah.
that then protect it so that it can be
Yeah.
preserved.
Yes.
So it needs to be covered rapidly, but by the right stuff.
Yeah. Or be, as the next creature we'll go over, be like in like a special, like there's this lagoon that a lot of these creatures were preserved in China. We'll get to that.
Okay.
That like there's no bacteria in it. Like it was a
Okay.
dead zone. I don't know.
Okay.
I think it was like oxygenless.
Okay.
Like there's nothing down there.
Okay.
So like it sunk to the bottom of this still lake.
Right.
But the thing is, there's nothing down there to decompose it.
Decompose it. Okay.
Yeah.
Because really, decomposition requires some active thing
Mm-hmm.
to do the decomposition.
Yeah.
Your body doesn't just decompose on its own. It's decomposing because it's in oxygen and bacteria
Yeah.
and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you an anaerobic environment that has no anaerobic life in it,
Uh-huh.
that just is completely lifeless,
Yeah.
you will not decompose, which is a little creepy.
Yeah. So Archaeopteryx, they thought it would glide. That was the original theory. That it couldn't fly. However, nowadays there's been more studies and they think it's a weak flyer. What does
Okay.
that mean? It's more like a pheasant. It can take off for a short burst
Okay.
by powered flight. Like, because we've done studies, like as of 2018, they did a study. So like this is recent.
Right.
And like it could like flap its wings and make power and fly.
Okay.
But not for a long
It couldn't
time.
sustain it.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
So like
enough
a chicken.
Yeah, there's
Well,
another
modern
species
chicken.
of birds today, the tinamou, which is close relative like emus and ostrich.
Right.
They can fly, but they
Right.
actually have weak hearts, so they can't
Oh.
maintain it for that long.
Okay.
So like this was like an early flyer. Like it could fly, but there's another one like this,
Okay.
which is very interesting because this will make up a couple other points.
Okay.
This was another very well preserved species. This is the Microraptor.
Okay.
A species. So, Archaeopteryx is from like 145 million years ago in the late Jurassic of Germany.
Okay.
This is from 125 to 120, so now we're in the early Cretaceous
Okay.
of China. And this is the Microraptor.
Okay.
Also interesting, it's not really easy to see on here, but it not only has two wings, it also kind of has like almost like flight feather wings off the back of its legs.
Okay.
Which, again, this is a Lagerstätten. We have the fossils very well preserved.
Okay.
So this is also a dinosaur. Very small. This thing could get like 2.53 feet long
Okay.
and weighed up to like 3.1 pounds.
How big was the other guy?
Probably about the same.
About the same. Okay.
Archaeopteryx was, let's see. So I'm trying to see if I can find was like 1.1 and 1.2 pounds. So a little smaller maybe, or about the same size.
About more or
So,
less.
yeah.
Okay.
Anyway. What is it? Microraptor. Microraptor is interesting for many reasons. But first of all, let's see. What's the general consensus? So I probably should have looked it up beforehand, but here we are. So what's the general consensus on Microraptor?
$125 to 120 million
Yeah.
years ago. 3 species.
Yes, there's a couple of different species, but they all looked about like this.
Yeah.
I'll get to why it's important. So in general, So with this 4 thing, there's a lot to see that could maybe glide, but again, like Archaeopteryx, they thought originally it would glide, but now they've seen more evidence that, like, yeah, it had the ability to fly.
To fly.
Yeah.
I would think those back
Mhm.
wings, if that's what you would make it very, very easy to glide.
Yeah, I think that's why they're like, this one probably gliding more often. They
Okay.
also think that maybe early on in this lineage, they tried 4-winged flying,
Okay.
and then they realized, nah, 2 wings just better. So
Okay.
so they're saying that like maybe this was from a 4-winged ancestor, but you can see they're kind of starting to lose that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're moving more
So
towards this.
evolutionarily,
Yeah.
it just kind of.
And
went
again,
away.
this is probably another dead end,
Okay.
and that was more like the dromaeosaurs that evolved into flight.
Okay.
Now, interestingly enough, this, like most prehistoric creatures in this is a guess. We don't know what color they were.
Right.
This is what this looked like. There's no
Okay.
debate.
Okay.
This actually was black iridescent feathers
Okay.
with some yellow on it. Now
Okay.
you may be asking, how on earth do you know that?
Yeah. How would you? Yeah.
So, because this is a Lagerstätten with very well preserved feathers, they started realizing they could find melanosomes fossilized.
Okay.
These are I don't know if they're cells. They're like structures that have pigment. They're termed pigment.
Like melanin.
Yes.
Okay.
I think maybe it was just melanin. But
Okay.
maybe like melanosomes can hone melanin.
Okay.
So there should be a coloration. Here we go. Yes, in 2012, they used electron microscope. Narrow melanosomes were found arranged in stacked layers, much like those of a modern starling, indicating iridescent plumage.
Okay.
So basically, and this is for specifically Microraptor gui, or gui. I don't know how you say it. It's Chinese. Who knows?
Yeah.
No, I don't know how this.
Probably great.
There are a couple other species. Like the original was Microraptor zahuans, not gui, but this is a different species.
Okay.
But yeah, this one, like for sure, we know had these black feathers, the
Okay.
iridescent feathers.
Okay.
So I thought this would be cool.
Are they able now that they figured that out to go back and look at previous?
Yes, there are some
of other things.
We know Cynoopteryx was
Okay.
actually like red,
Okay.
kind of like almost a red panda, a little duller,
Okay.
with like white, like raccoon tail.
Ah. Okay.
There's another one. I think Anchiornis was like
Sure.
black with some white on the wings.
Okay.
And had like a little red head quest.
Okay.
Quest. There's one, the Psittacosaurus. We know a lot. It's actually a little ceratopsian, or like relative of the ceratopsian.
Right.
And it's like, we know it was brown. We know it kind of had yellowish quills. You can look up like there's a really good images of Psittacosaurus we've made.
So they're
like,
going back and reassessing other things.
Psittacosaurus is special. We even know like the shape of its cloaca, its butt. Like we know like a lot about Psittacosaurus. It's really interesting.
That's not the first thing I would research, but okay.
Yeah. So yeah, they're really starting to find out more about what they actually looked like, which is really
some
cool.
scientists like, I wonder what shape his butt was.
Well, they found the butt and they're like, ooh, I got
Found a butt.
They found the butt. Yeah.
The world is a Rick and Morty episode. That's what I've decided.
Okay. So now actually, and then eventually, Confuciorn. But that's important. Like, even though these kind of like birdy dinosaurs were around, the birds were here. Like,
Yeah.
birds evolved at this or already.
Okay.
Confuciorn. This isn't. I saw it and I typed.
Do we know why flight evolved? I mean, what precipitated?
What probably happened, if I had to guess, we don't exactly know.
Yeah.
That creatures were climbing up trees to escape predators, and then they started gliding.
Jumping and
And
gliding.
then some of them.
So gliding became valuable.
Yeah,
which
and then-
caused it to reproduce more.
And over
okay.
time, flying came from that.
From that. Okay. That makes sense.
I feel like I've heard that somewhere before. Like, I'm not just pulling that out of my head.
And again, I think we said this in the last episode or two. What's his name?
How do you spell Confucius?
Confucious.
Okay. So the creature's Confuciornis. This is a bird.
Okay.
This is actually same place, same time as Microraptor,
Okay.
but it's a bird. So
Okay.
obviously this did evolve into birds because this
Right.
is a bird.
Right.
At the same time, same place. So this is Confuciornis. You can still see it had the claws on it. It kind of
Okay.
had the toothy little beak. But now more, it has the front wings. It kind of has the bird legs.
Right.
A tail that's kind of like, that looks like a bird.
Okay.
So yeah, like this is a bird.
Okay.
So to show that like these were at the same time,
Okay.
obviously I think they were more, I think this was bigger, but these were more similar
Right.
in size. And then like this is a dinosaur that's gliding, a little bit of flying, and then this is a bird that's flying.
And they skittered off in the evolutionary.
Yes.
Okay. And what's his name? The book Evolution guy,
Charles Darwin.
Charles Darwin.
Yeah.
So if you really read Charles Darwin, he used the term evolution much differently than we use it.
Yeah,
today.
because he was more natural selection.
Natural selection. That's really how he used it. Was natural selection is what, and natural selection and evolution are very related, but they are
natural selection's a part of evolution.
Evolution, yes.
So there's 4 main facets of evolution.
Okay.
There's natural selection, what traits go on. There's also, I think it itself has like 4 parts of natural selection, but then there's like mutation, which is like how this occurs.
Right.
One day, Mr. Archaeopteryx relative had a mutation that like less feathers here, more feathers here. Lots of mutations like that happen.
It's like red hair and green
like
eyes.
This. Yeah.
It just
They don't just go like poop. They don't do that.
Yeah. Gosh, it would be really nice if we could fly, and I'm gonna have kids now that fly.
That was an older theory from a guy called Lamarck.
Lamarck. Okay.
He was like, a giraffe sees something it can't reach, and he was like, and then ate it, and then all the babies were like that. What actually happened was this guy has an egg. Right. That egg's a little different, and then over time those mutations stack up, and you get to this.
And
over generations,
giraffes with longer necks tended to survive better.
Yeah,
because they could reach the leaves.
And all the ones with the shorter necks died,
so they didn't reproduce as much. So
we actually have observed this directly.
Yeah,
on the island of Daphne Major, there was Darwin finches. They like, it's so small they could log every single one every year.
Right,
and for the past 40 years. And like there was a big drought, and like only the small seeds made it. So the birds like adapted smaller beaks.
Okay.
In like that year, like the population trended and the beaks got smaller.
Right.
And then they would recover, and then the beaks would gradually get bigger.
Because the ones with smaller beaks could eat the seeds, and therefore they were more likely to reproduce.
It's called the drunken walk, where like things happen, like because like over time there's drift. Another part, genetic drift, where just like genes just by coincidence lean towards a direction.
Right.
And over time cause the beak shape to change.
Right.
So like we've watched evolution happen.
Right.
Don't tell certain people.
Don't tell certain people.
We've watched it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a cool thing about birds and dinosaurs and all that. But the last few, I think, will just be cool examples of all the animals glide. Actually, all these will be gliders.
So these are all gliders.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is a flying squirrel.
And really, squirrels that jumped out of trees that didn't have as much skin between their arms tended to die.
Or get a big boo-boo.
Or they could glide away from predators, where ones that couldn't would jump, land too close to the tree, and predator would eat them.
Yeah.
And therefore the ones that could get further away would survive.
Specifically as a northern flying squirrel. They don't fly, they just glide.
They only fly to the north.
No. This is ones from the north, that's the name. But you can see they have skin membranes around here. And it's just skin. You can see the arms and the fingers, nothing to do with that. More flat fur around the tail, and it's just they catch the wind and they jump out of a tree and glide down.
Yeah.
And besides that, it's just a normal squirrel.
Yeah.
Next, we're going to go.
And when they're walking, that skin, for the most part, just kind of hugs to their body.
The flying fish.
Oh yeah.
You can see here, these are just fins, but they're adapted to catch the wind, so they can jump and catch the wind for a little bit, and then land back in the water.
So maybe to get away, is that to get away from predators, or is that because they eat insects?
No, they get away from predators.
Okay. So they don't jump up to eat something.
Most fish actually will go up to get away from predators below to the surface.
Okay.
But a lot of predators are starting to adapt to where like dolphins specifically will like push fish up and then catch them when they jump. There's one population in the Everglades that does that.
Okay.
The dolphins have learned to use bubbles to trap fish. A lot of sea animals do that. Like whales are the big example. But the dolphins make a bubble net to lure, like catch the fish in. Right. The fish force up, they jump, and while they're jumping, the dolphins catch them. Actually, in a game I play, Monster Hunter Wilds, the last update, they added the Mizitsune. This is a leviathan creature, so kind of like a sea serpent with legs. Yeah. That makes bubbles to slide around the ground.
Okay.
And actually, there's an animation where if it needs to eat because it's exhausted, or it's just an idle animation, it will go in the water, swim around, make bubbles, and the fish will jump up, and it'll go catch them. Which I'm assuming is based off those dolphins.
Modeled off of that.
And that's the reason I like Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
So when we ever do a Monster Hunter episode, we'll have to try to see that one.
Yeah.
Because that's a really good example of how they, like, this fictional world applies actual animal science to it.
Yeah, that's cool.
And but while those fish are in the air being like, well, The flying fish is gliding away
Right.
from safety of the water predators.
Right.
Now, if there's a bird
flying over,
yeah, but still.
the eagle's like, oh, easy pickings.
Yeah. Now,
thanks for coming
so
out
you
to
know
play.
how the scroll glides out,
yeah,
with its membranes.
yeah,
What about how frogs have webbed feet?
yeah.
What if a frog used that to glide?
Nice.
This it's a flying frog. Again, it glides.
Yeah, it glides.
It doesn't actually
Right,
fly.
right.
I believe this is specifically Wallers or something. Let me check real quick. Montaigne. This is specifically
Waller's frog is not a recognized scientific name or specific frog species. The most likely interpretation of the term is a fictional creature, possibly referring to a monster in a video game.
I think there's like a group of these
that just are colloquially referred to as.
Oh wait, maybe I forgot to update and put this into this part of the database. I have a database of all my animals, and I might forgot to update this one. Let me go to the other part of it. Not you.
A flying frog refers to a frog that can.
Sorry, I'm looking.
Glide.
I have the name. Wallace's flying frog.
Wallace's, not Waller's.
Not Wallace.
Okay.
But yeah, so this is that's just a name, but
yeah,
it's a flying frog that glides.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a very unique evolution adaptation, and this is in like Southeast Asia. So to know, flying fish, all different species across the ocean. This is the Japanese one, I think, but just ocean.
Yeah.
This is more like North America.
Right.
Frogs, Southeast Asia.
Yeah, you can see, like, I've seen a flying squirrel before.
Yeah. We do have a species here.
Yeah.
Australia has the sugar glider, which is a marsupial. Again, that's convergent evolution. Another mammal that evolved the same gliding method.
Okay.
But Southeast Asia also has flying snakes. I don't have a flying snake. They don't have a special organ. They just flatten themselves to catch more wind.
So they just spread their ribs.
And they're really more just like they fall well.
Falling with style.
Speaking of ribs, what if the ribs were adapted to go out?
Right.
And this is where the last one is. This is a special thing. This is a taxidermy of a gliding flying dragon.
Okay.
Well, it's a lizard. They're called dragons.
And those actually are his ribs.
Yes, you can see those are his ribs extending from his spine out to catch the wind.
Okay.
Now, we found this at the Volo Museum.
In Volo,
antique shop,
Illinois.
There's a lot of these out there. They're a very common species where they're from.
Yeah.
There's probably one that just passed away.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about the ethics here.
Yeah.
Also, we're so far down the chain. It's not like and I thought I'll take it and use it for this.
Yeah.
And also, we're planning to go back soon, so now I can go back and be like, yeah, I did it. I didn't just say I was going to do it. I did it. So yeah, this is just really cool to have and just be like, this is such a unique animal.
That's a unique evolution of
it evolved its ribs to spread out.
Yeah.
And there's lots of weird things. I know there's a frog that will break its ribs on demand to make spikes out of itself as a defense mechanism.
Well, and geckos will drop their tails.
Yeah. Oh, lots of lizards will drop their tails. Yeah. So yeah.
I saw something. Now I don't know if this was real. It was presented as real. That in the.
This is a thigh flying dragon, species of Draco. By the way,
what's the most dangerous river in the universe?
There's lots of rivers.
Well, but anyway,
probably
the Amazon River. There was like a 100-foot anaconda snake. I mean, it was like 40 stories long or something. No.
There used to be extinct species that were big, big, like 40 feet long.
Okay.
I don't think that, like the Titanoboa was big. First of all, this is extinct.
Okay.
And this could be like 42, maybe 47 feet long.
Okay.
So like big.
Okay.
Like these were big snakes.
Okay.
But not that big. That's probably just a cryptid tail or something. But again, put in truth, because there are large anacondas.
Right.
There were bigger snakes. And I think that's what our next podcast should be.
Okay.
There's a lot of cryptids that are based in reality.
Yeah.
Like the Kraken is based from the giant squid or the colossal squid. Right. I think that should be our next podcast.
Okay.
So, and I think this is a good segue to that.
Yeah.
Because you were talking about that sort of thing. Like, this seems a little out there.
That's just a
Like,
unique.
maybe
Yeah.
if you're in the forest in the middle of the night and you're like a young person
Right.
and you see this, you're like, what is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe you don't realize it's this. You make up a cryptid.
Right. Right.
So I think that'll be a good next podcast and a good segue to that.
Cool. Yeah.
So we hope you
Yeah.
learned a lot about flying and gliding today and the differences, how evolution somehow made birds, frogs, and ribbed lizards that glide. So,
Yeah. Very cool. All right. Well, that is a wrap. Dino's out.
bye.